Well, hello everyone and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations, Miles Edgeworth. I'm freaking out. This is already so interesting and we haven't even started yet. I'll go take care of the paperwork now. You go do that, Dracula. You go take care of your paperwork. Remember, I'll accept nothing but a perfect report from the both of you. So guess what? Young Edgeworth and young Francisca are on the case. I'm so excited. But we can't disappoint Daddy, can we? Oh shit, there he goes. Well, I guess the door's free now. What up, girl? Miles Edgeworth. It's been quite some time, Francisca. This will be the perfect chance for us to see which of us is truly worthy of the Von Karma name. Would it kill you to at least say hello? Long time no see. Very good. Just because you became a prosecutor first doesn't mean you can act all proud. Yeah. She hasn't changed a bit. No, not at all. Well, no. Miles Edgeworth, as I was saying, we shall see which one of us is worthy of the Von Karma name. For crying out loud, I've been reduced to a babysitter. Oh, you back? What up, dude? How you doing? It looks like Mr. Von Karma was successful in convincing the detective. That's just like him. He never fails. Now, I'd appreciate it if you could quickly run me through the facts, Detective Bad. You're better off checking things out on your own. Very well. Seems like getting help from Detective Bad will be a most arduous task. Well, he doesn't want to help us. I mean, it's pretty clear. I can't blame him. Oh shit, we're in here. Nice TV. Alright. Lobby number 2, here we go. Oh, that looks a little questionable, doesn't it? Ugh. Is the only real explanation that they killed each other simultaneously? Can't be that simple. We already been knew, right? There's no way it's that easy. Girl, aren't you like 14? You probably shouldn't even be in here. Miles Edgeworth, you should listen to someone until they're finished talking. What are you talking about? I'll only say it one more time. This is a competition to see who is truly worthy of the Von Karma name. A competition? The person that figures out the truth first wins. So the person who doesn't discover the truth is a dishonor to the name? Exactly. I don't care that you became a prosecutor before me. I simply refuse to hear any more foolish things come from your mouth, you foolish mouthful. Huh. Fine, whatever makes you happy. Can I take that as you accepting of my challenge? Once again, whatever makes you happy. Ha! Well then, let's begin the investigation, shall we? I'm going to find the perfect evidence and prettily present it like the professional I am. Competing to discover the truth behind a crime, how delightfully childish. A bit. It's fine, I'm sure. Oh, what up, dude? You really need to get that coat mended. Kid? Ha! Serves you right, Miles. He just called you a kid. I said kids, kid. How dare you call me a kid as well? I'll do what I please, and I won't allow you to cause a ruckus on my crime scene. Hey, big guy. You're going to watch over these two. Oh, perfect. Yes, sir. Detective Bad, sir. Now, do what I say from now on, kids, okay? You'd better not get in our way, Scruffy. You'll feel the bite of my whip if you do. Then you, prosecutor boy. Let's get your investigation started already, alright? Great, now even that detective is treating me like a child. Alright, it's time to get investigating. Get a move on, prosecutor boy. My name is Miles Edgeworth, and if you were to call me prosecutor boy one more time, it will be my duty as a prosecutor to look into your monthly salary. What? And what would you do with my salary after you saw how much it was? That's up to you now, isn't it? Wow, Miles, that's rude. Jesus Christ, poor Gumshoe. He's taking the piss since day one. Really? Sounds good, pal. He's so naive. Well, let's not worry about that for now. Right. Okay. How do we start? Where do we start it? Detective Bad, may I have a word with you? What is it? It appears that both a knife and a gun were used as murder weapons. Yeah, it does. That leads us to our first question of the investigation. Where did the men acquire the weapons? Oh, the gun was inside of Faraday's bag. It was a piece of evidence that was presented in the trial earlier today. It was used to kill the Codopian embassy staff member. But I never heard anything about the knife. It looks strange, doesn't it? Mr. Rel's being held by the police, there's no way he could have brought it in. Which means it's possible that Faraday had the knife on him from the start. Could it have been a piece of evidence that had yet to be presented? Maybe. But then, why doesn't Detective Bard know about it? That's true also. He could have just had it, maybe. Wait, what if... It's possible that Mr. Faraday brought the knife in under the guise of prosecutorial evidence. He could have had then brought it out and attacked Mr. Rell with it. Huh? Maybe you've got a brain in there after all, kid. Duh. Is he going to treat me like a child forever? Well, I mean, he is like your daddy age compared to you. Don't worry about it. It looks like Mr. Faraday attacked Mr. Rell first, who then counterattacked. That's the only logical conclusion you can draw from a scene like this. Not yet. I feel it's much too early to be drawing conclusions. I must first find conclusive evidence so as to ensure the honor of the Von Karma name. Well, if you let me take control, I'll do that right away, sir. Hello. How are you? There are some plastic bags stacked up on the table. There's a tea set too, but there doesn't seem to be any sign of a disturbance. Yeah, the table's all neat and tidy. Oh, okay. I was actually trying to talk to Gumshoe, but in case, we got that logic for the table. Maybe they were super quiet in this scuffle? After all, I didn't hear anything from out in the hallway, you know. Maybe the plastic bags scattered on the floor throwing us off? Well, maybe. Here, Sir, can I... Fine. Talk to you instead. Yo, Franzy. I got something for you. Ah, I see. Did you figure something out? This is a competition, Miles, and as such, I'd appreciate if you didn't talk to me. Ugh, as you wish. Wait, no! I gotta oh. I was gonna show her my badge. Then she could have gone and told her daddy what I did. And he would have been very excited about it, I'm sure. Detective Bad, do you have any thoughts on the case? Faraday and Rell. It looks like they killed each other, to me. Although, there are a few things that just don't seem right. And what would they be? Why don't you try thinking on your own first before you bother me, boy? Oh shit. What? Now I've been downgraded to just boy? Well, you better get used to it. Because to be fair, in all the dojins that I've read, that has happened to you every time. Wait, what? Alright, let's look at this window, because it seems to be open. The window's open and... oh. There's a fresh flowery scent in the air. Oh, the flowers in the garden down there are so gross and ghastly. Do you think maybe you could try offering something useful for a change? Well, at least there's no way someone escaped through a window, pal. They wouldn't wake up and smell the flowers after a fall from the 3rd floor. Are you willfully ignoring the fact that there are also iron bars on the window? That's what I thought. I was like, wait a minute, is that blinds or is it? No, it's bars for sure. Alright, so we've got that logic as well. Yeah, I guess there's that too. Either way, no one can get through these windows, right? They thought of everything when they were designing this courthouse. Very nice. Well, okay, so if they're talking about the plastic bags being everywhere, right? Well, maybe the wind is what moved the plastic bags everywhere? I guess we'll get to that in a hot minute. How about this television? Whoa! What is it, Detective Gumshoe? My TV at home is so tiny compared to this one, pal. Oh, then perhaps you should purchase a more normal-sized television like this one. Well, you know, not everyone can afford it. Ooh, let me see. Wow, this thing is huge! Oh. Here's another screenshot for the, out of context. And way too noisy. You're the noisy one, Scruffy. Don't touch it. You'll get your fingerprints all over it. But, I didn't touch it. Oh, excuse me, we saw you do it. Preservation of the crime scene is the foundation of detective work. The foundation, huh? Sounds like something the rookie here needs to shore up on. Don't worry about that. Can we look at this bag? There's some stuff in the bag, pal. I suppose this was Mr. Faraday's bag. It's probably the trial evidence I was supposed to collect from him. Aren't you gonna look at it, though? Probably important. This is the evidence? I better not touch it. I'll leave prints on it. Do you just not pay attention to anything you do? What about us? I guess not. Alright, I guess not. Alright. Alright, how about this beautiful plant? This decorative plant's foliage is quite nice. It's actually soothing to be around it. You gotta think about that? Perhaps I should purchase one for my room. Yeah, the Phoenix did that and it worked out good for him. Alright, let's look at the obvious thing. Here we go. It looks like Mr. Faraday fell on top of Mr. Rell. At first glance, it seems like they must have killed each other, however. Using logic, the only logical conclusion is... Aha! What was that outburst for? My detective instinct just hit me real hard. Oh, I bet. It was Mr. Rell that fell first, see? You don't need a detective's instinct for that. It's common sense. But I suppose we won't know much more than that until after I examine the bodies. Alright, let's look real close at all this. Alright. Alright. Well, let's do the obvious thing first and get the gun. Looks like Mr. Faraday died while holding the gun in his right hand. So we shot Mr. Rell and then fell on top of him while still gripping onto the gun? I guess that does seem kind of strange, huh? I mean, why would Mr. Faraday know how to fire a gun? It's not exactly rocket science, even I know how to pull a trigger. Although I doubt I'll ever need to use one. Oh. Oops. Okay. I hope I never have to fire a gun either, pal. You're a detective! But it sure does look cool to hold a gun in your hands. You're literally part of the police! Okay. It appears that the police's screening procedures need a thorough review. Yeah, really? Anyway, I should jot down some notes about the handgun in Mr. Faraday's hand. Alright, we got handgun data. Okay. Well, whose Ziploc bags are these? Like, seriously, let's look at this bloody plastic bag right here. I'm assuming that's what it is, unless it's ketchup. Why are there plastic bags scattered all around? Those bags are for keeping evidence safe, pal. That's what I had a feeling that's what they would say. I know that much, detective. They're Ziploc bags, you know, yellow and blue make green. No? Oh, you guys are probably too young to know what that is. You sure are good at this stuff, aren't you, pal? Normally, I'd be happy when someone compliments me, but when it's this guy, I'll get used to it. Anyway, could these plastic bags be evidence of a fight between the two men? Plastic bags strewn about. Plastic bags used to store evidence are strewn all over the floor. Okay. I still think that might have something to do with the open window, but let's wait on that for a second. Excuse me, let's look at the knife. Looks like Mr. Rell died with the knife in his hand. There's some blood stuck on it. Then he must have used this as a weapon. Yup, no doubt about it. Was Mr. Faraday carrying this on his personage? Did he bring it as a piece of evidence for the trial? Or did he bring it with a very different intention in mind? I should jot down some notes about it. Okay, we got the knife. It looks strange. It looks like a hilt that could be like covered up with a cover, maybe to look like, not really a letter opener, but you guys know what I mean, like, right, a decorative piece that maybe could be part of something else. That's just the feel I get from looking at it anyway. We'll have to see. Alright, what else? We can, oh, is this part of what we saw? His hand is all black down there, see? I wonder what it could be. Oh, I barely saw that. I thought it was shadow. Oops. Huh, if you look closely, this blotching pattern resembles an ink stain. Oh, Mr. Faraday has ink on his left hand. Why is there ink on such a place anyway? Okay. That's interesting. An ink stain? Yes, I usually get ink on my own hand when I use my feather pen. A feather pen? I never seen one before. Sure you aren't just making it up, pal? Only Edgeworth would use something like that. What do you think, Edgeworth? Mr. Rell's cause of death was from being shot, correct? That's what we think, but it's hard to tell with him laying face down. Are they ever going to move them, I wonder? Death is bad enough, but it's truly lamentable that someone would try to hide the truth. Are you sure they were trying to hide something? I can't confirm Mr. Rell's cause of death with his body position like that. Detective Bad, I'd like to examine the bodies in further detail if possible. What's this? You're not able to form a theory with them the way they are? I believe an examination of the bodies is vital to finding the perfect evidence, don't you? I suppose you have a point. Well, hurry up and get on with it. Labby. Yes, sir. We've taken enough photos of the scene, sir. And there you have it. Well, thanks, I guess. Oh, it was a standoff. It's high noon in here. Do you not approve? Of course not. What? Investigation of a crime scene is the work of a detective, so don't touch a thing. Hey, big fella, turn the bodies over for me, will you? Oh no, Gumshoe's gotta do it. Aww. Okay, please forgive me, Mr. Faraday, sir. Gumshoe, do not get emotionally involved. Remember, you're a detective. Yes, sir. Understood, sir. Poor Gumshoe. What a yucky job. Alright, let's look. Oh. Okay. Right. Well, there's a couple of things here. It looks like, what's this? Obviously, I didn't even go to the blood mark, which I should have done first. There's something in his breast pocket. It's a fountain pen? The fountain pen in Mr. Faraday's pocket has an especially nice nib. Is that a euphemism? No, I'm just kidding. I know what fountain pens are, but still, it's a little bit weird. Alright. Hey, you know, I always keep a pencil behind my ear. It's because Detective Bat is always telling me, you should always write your name on everything you own. Yeah, somehow you do strike me as quite a forgetful individual. Man, you don't even know the half of it yet. Alright, what about this? There's a knife wound in his chest here, see? I wonder if the wound matches the knife Mr. L's holding. Labby. Yes, sir. Verifying now, sir. Make it quick. From the look of things, one could deduce that the knife Mr. L is holding is what killed Mr. Faraday. Yeah, but is that all we're gonna get there? Do we get an update or anything, or I guess we have to wait on that. Huh. Well, here's the knife here. Let's look at that. It looks like Mr. Faraday was stabbed with this knife that Mr. L's holding. Youch! What's wrong, Detective? My stomach started to hurt from just thinking about being stabbed. Just keep your mind on the case, alright? Well, I'm just saying. Shot in the chest. It takes some guts to fire a gun in a courthouse. I mean, I've been a detective... Oh, shoot. I've been a detective for a whole week and I still haven't fired a single round yet. There aren't any burn marks on his clothes. That must mean... Wait, burn marks? A round grows very hot as it is discharged from a firearm. Therefore, burn marks are usually left when a shot is fired from point-blank range. Didn't we learn about that in the last one? Ergo, Mr. Rel must have been shot from at least a yard or two away. Okay, the handgun data is updated. What about that knife? I guess we don't get any more information on that yet. You sure do know a bunch of neat stuff for your age, pal. Apparently, this detective has as much common knowledge as your everyday marsupial. Look, don't talk down on marsupials, okay? They're cute. Let us now try to understand how the two men died. First, Mr. Faraday took the gun and the knife out from today's trial evidence. Then, he aimed the gun at Mr. Rel and fired. However, Mr. Rel managed to grab the knife and counter Mr. Faraday while being shot. Then the two men fell together where they stood. Is it really that simple, though? That is my theory, in any case. What a crazy way to go. Still, something about that explanation just doesn't seem right. It doesn't, does it? Oh, okay, we got crime scene notes. Perfect. Fine. I believe I now have a firmer grasp on what happened here. Do you? Oh, I suppose we're done. Well, let's look at our logic then and see if we've got anything there to connect. Neat and tidy table. Plastic bags, fountain pen, lobby number 2 window, and the ink stain. Well, the ink stain is obviously from the fountain pen. So I'm gonna connect that right now because it's obviously what it was. But how? And why? Let's see if we can make something out of that. That splotch on Mr. Faraday's hand. I wonder if it might be the ink from his fountain pen. Ooh, let's ask the lab guy. Alright. Detective Gumshoe! I confirm that the substance on Mr. Faraday's hand is the ink from his fountain pen. I see. Good work. You know, I always wanted to say that, even if it was just one time in my life. Uh-huh. Good for you, Gumshoe. If Mr. Faraday wrote with his fountain pen in his left hand, I think it's fair to assume he was left-handed. It appears that Mr. Faraday's pen is very important to our case as well. I mean, couldn't you just have clutched it? Oh, I guess that's this game's logic for you. Okay, if you say so, pal. Alright, the fountain pen's been updated. Okay. Alright, let's look. Now, I'm thinking there's one of two things that could happen here. Neat and tidy table. The tea set and plastic bags on top of the table are completely undisturbed. So maybe that means that the window didn't do it. If the window was blowing around the stuff, wouldn't the ones on the table also get caught up? And there's plastic bags strewn about. They're strewn all over the floor. My first thought was to connect this with the window. But now, tea set and plastic bags on top of the table are completely understood. What's going to happen if I do this? Because I want to see what that's going to connect, if anything. It might not. Oh. Okay. There's a very tidy pile of plastic bags on the table. And yet a portion of them wound up scattered on the floor as well. It's not likely that the ones on the floor were knocked over during a struggle. In which case, might there be another explanation to how they got there? Another reason? I believe it's possible that the blood on the outside of the bag is related somehow. Please get that blood away from me, pal. Detective Gumshoe, whose blood is on the bag. Hold on, let me ask the lab guy. Alright, please hurry. Are we gonna find out? Wait till you get a load of this, pal. It's Mr. Faraday's. Oh, and the technician said they didn't find anything else on or in the bag either. It would appear that this bag is a very important piece of evidence. Okay, if you say so, I leave it in your hands, pal. Alright, we got the plastic bag. Okay. I guess there's not much left to investigate, huh? They really did kill each other. No, we can't conclude that quite yet. What's left? Let's see. There's still something I find very peculiar here. Is there? The theory that they simply killed one another is too simplistic in the case. Sorry, I paused. I was just looking at the scene really carefully to see if I saw anything out of whack. In fact, there's actually a contradiction that shows there's another possibility. No way, pal. Really? Huh, I suppose I'll just have to show you where the conflict in the crime scene is. I won't rest until I've expected every suspicious looking to create. Okay. Okay, so we can deduce something. Let's think. Oh, so is he saying that if the guy maybe was left-handed, then why is he shooting the gun in his right hand? I'm gonna go with that. That's probably what it was. That's fairly easy to work out, actually. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? I suppose what we're using there then is the pen, right? Because it says used by the left-handed Faraday. Okay, so that's what we're going to use. Right. Now we come face to face with the contradiction I spoke of, and it is this. Mr. Faraday used his left hand to write with his fountain pen. Ergo, he's left-handed. And yet, the handgun is in his right hand. Don't you find it odd that the left-handed Mr. Faraday would hold the gun in his right hand? That, ladies and gentlemen, is the great contradiction haunting this crime scene. Hey, you're right, pal. That does seem kind of strange. But how could something like that happen? The facts add up to one conclusion and one alone. Someone else put the gun in Mr. Faraday's hand after he died. Someone else? Plastic bags scattered on the floor, gun in the wrong hand. I sense the presence of a shadowy figure behind this case. Oh, he's saying it was tampered with. A person of vile intent who's serious about keeping the truth from us. I see. Oh, shoot. Alright, investigation complete. Now what, though? So is there a third person involved? Also, Franzy, have you just been listening to this? Because honestly, you could just bogart my ideas, and it's not fair, actually, at all. Because I have been speaking very loudly. Here's the autopsy report. Thank you. It is probable that Mr. Rouse survived for a short time after he was shot. However, Mr. Faraday died instantaneously from a stabbing. Interesting. Okay, we got that. Updated in the crime scene notes. Okay. It looks like we now know everything we need to know about this case. Do we? Are you sure we know everything? Of course. The incident began with Mr. Faraday attempting to get his revenge. The prosecutor went into a rage from being accused and tried to kill the defendant. But the defendant fought back and they ended up killing each other. You think that's all, Franzy? It's all very clear and simple. There's absolutely no margin for doubt. Do you really believe that to be the truth? Ha! Are you saying that just because I figured out the truth before you? That you don't want to believe it's true? Don't touch my waist with your whip. Ma'am, you're very close to my crotch, please. Oh. Don't do that. It's alright. If you disagree with my argument, then prove me wrong. Well, if there are any contradictions to be found, that is. Good lord. Don't worry, I will. Oh yeah? Oh shoot. Okay, we're going head to head. Crap. You know what? We only have 5 minutes. I wonder how long this is going to take. Well, here's what we'll do. In the next one, we will press Franny and find out what she thinks happens, and then probably ruin her entire world because she's going to be wrong. I hope. Maybe? Okay. In the next one, we'll do that. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am, and I'll see you in the next one. Toodaloo.